Today we come back to my friend's woods to do a new recording because in the last video here we left a drop rig for 24 hours but it powered off after 8.5 hours, even though there were batteries and a power bank. The SD card wasn't full, which means that we've got a little bit of a problem. So today I've come here to set up the rig again, but this time I'm only going to use a power bank without having any batteries in the recorder. I'm doing this because if batteries and a power bank are attached to a recorder, the recorder might defer to either the battery or the power bank. And what it seems from the last recording is that it's deferring the source power to the batteries. So today we're only going to use a power bank. We're going to see whether it records for 24 hours. And the other issue we found, which we're going to see whether it happens again, is whether the files are split into 2-hour sections. Because after the last video we did here, it split the files up into 2-hour sections, but only the first one actually recorded anything. By doing this, we can also see whether by recording with a power bank, it affects how the files are recorded and saved. Okay, let's head on up to the pond, same place where we were, same place, same conditions, except we're here in the middle of the day rather than the evening, but the temperature is the same, more or less. Well, let's head on up and get going. Oh, right, made it up through the steep ground. Now we're going to head over to the pond to set the Clippies back up again. I've noticed loads and loads of new badger digging on the way up. They're searching for food, and there's a section of pine trees further down there, and it's absolutely full of jays, so they may be making a nest over there. And here we are at the pond. Let's see if there's any frog spawn. No, none there. So let's get this rig set up the same way as I did it before. Let's get the Clippies taped up. Right there then. Touch that to the line in. Power bank is fully charged. The recorder powers up. There's no power indicator on the recorder. If I talk now, we're at minus 12 dB, which is fine. So I'm going to press record. Select hold, put it into a box. It's all good, everything's still working. I'll shut the box, power bank, on recorder, into a bag. Sealed up. Now hanging on the tree, but before I go, even though it's there, I'm going to double check to see if it's still on. Ah, it had powered off. Why is that? Lucky I checked, really. Power bank is full. It's up. It's fully powered. Now it's come back on again. So what I'm gonna actually do here now is to press record and leave it out in the open to see whether for some reason it powers off after a few minutes. So we'll do that right now. Press record, hold. And I'll just leave it there. Yep, it's recording. What are we up there now? We're at 44, 45 seconds. I'll just watch it for a while to see if it powers off. It seemed to be a couple of minutes, so I'll just watch the timer. I'd show you, but it's just in an awkward place. So we're just over a minute now. Still recording. I can see the decibel indicator going. There we go, it's powered off after 1 minute and 30 seconds. That pretty much gives us a kind of answer, because what it says is it'll record with batteries in, but if we use auxiliary power, a power bank, it'll power it up for roughly, I'd say that gives us a minute and a half, and before that it took us about maybe 30 seconds to a minute to actually set it up. So it gives us about 2 to 2.5 minutes of pretty much emergency power, then it shuts off. Because the other problem we have with the files, it may actually not be a viable option to use the Zoom H1n as a long-term recorder in a drop rig. It seems to be great if you go and put it out for up to 2 hours, but if it's any longer than that, you're going to get problems like we found with the files, and like now with this external power source, it just powers off. It may also be a problem with the type of power source. So I do remember seeing a video where someone was powering up a recorder, and the auxiliary power, the power bank, gave power for up to like 2 minutes and then powered off. And he seemed to suggest that the power bank, if not enough power is being drawn from it, actually switches itself off after a certain time. So it may actually depend on the power bank that you have. Now, I watched a video, Roger in Finland, who does a lot with a Zoom H1n, and I've got the same power bank that he advised in that, so I'm not quite sure. He's using his in a studio. We're in the outdoors. I think he also has batteries in them as well, which means that it's actually being powered by the battery, not by the external source. So I think rather than going through all these problems and trying to solve them over and over and over, I think the best bet is to change the recorder. So I've got a Zoom F3 on order, and when that arrives we're going to use that as the drop rig instead of the Zoom H1n. I'm going to clear it up here now. Thanks for watching the video on my audio apprenticeship journey, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.